to another edition of Big Talk. I am Waddy McFly. And you are?
I am, you know who I am.
This is Jim Drew. And over here to my left.
I'm B.
This is B. Follow us on Twits. Okay, moving right along.
That sounds awful.
Tuesday, we will be talking about reboots, remakes, and sequels. So, let's begin. Let's get our thoughts about remakes and reboots and all that stuff in general. So Jim will start.
Alright, first off, I think I got a bad taste for remakes ever since the 7th or 8th Land Before Time. I just decided that, you know, how many movies can you make before Land Before Time becomes just Land of Time?
Yeah, Land of Time.
So,
Be great. It'll be like Homeward Bound, but Land Before Time. Okay.
You do a good point.
All right. What about you? What do you think about remakes
See,
and all that stuff?
I hate sequels. Remakes, it depends. Sometimes they're good. I hate, like, after, like, 2, like, really, I just am so sick of all the Fast and the Furiouses. There's, like, 20 of them.
Apparently this was, like, the best one.
Yeah,
like,
and they,
what?
and then they'll do, like, different countries, like, and then they'll use different people, and...
My thing, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Here's the fun part. I can really handle sequels, and I can handle even remakes if they're made well. What I think is sad is that now original stories are being overlooked. Any remake, people want to see a remake over an original story nowadays because they're like, yeah, sure, or and everyone's like, oh, because I'm familiar with it, and like it brings me my childhood back, and like, yeah, it makes me feel good, and it's like, yeah, that's great, but like, okay, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles
or Hook.
Well, Hook. Jim. Hook was a great classic, and you disgraced that. So, but I kind of really like remakes. I like original stories a lot more, but I think the problem I have with remakes is that they tend to be like, hey, I'm making a remake, and so now everyone pays more attention to that, and the original stories don't get the things they deserve. Yeah. So, like Coen Brothers and stuff.
Have you seen 310 to Yuma?
Yes.
That movie.
Oh, it's great.
Good remake.
Yeah, that was a good remake. I haven't seen the original though, so that's kind of bad.
Yeah.
So I can't really compare.
And
see, that's another thing. That's kind of an interesting thing too. Like, what do you think that helps, or does that kind of not make remakes good because you have something original to compare it to? What do you think, Jim?
I think as long as you can tell a story as good or better than the original, then you're good to go. Like, as long as we evolve, and I don't care if they remake stuff or if they make sequels, but as long as we get better at the freaking videos, then I'm happy. But if we just stay the same, staying the same is okay, but like any less than, it just sucks, and you know, I don't.
Yeah.
That's why I like Christopher Nolan's Batman trilogy,
yeah.
is because each one I think either was as good or even better than the first ones.
That's probably like one of the best trilogies. I'm not even a huge Batman fan, and I love.
Yeah, I think that's a very good example of taking an idea and rebooting it, and like making it your own though.
Yeah.
And I think that's an awesome idea. Like Spider-Man, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan, but you know they kind of remade it and it was still good, but I'm like, but since it's so close, like the whole first half of the movie, I'm like, yeah, we've seen this like a million times. Ben's gonna die, like, okay, and so I am excited for the next movie because it sounds like it's not gonna be all like the other movies, but I mean, but see, like, you think to yourself, you know, because they remake it and did it so soon.
Sorry.
Sky the Blue. Thanks. I don't know, but yeah, what do you guys think about that, or what do you think about like with the Spider-Man thing and whatever?
See, I liked the first 3 Spider-Man, and then I was like so irritated when they came out with a new one because I was like, I feel like we just have these. There's no need for another one to come out, even though it was kind of a while. It just doesn't feel like it was. But I like the new one. It has a different take on it, but it's still, like basically the same
Yeah.
storyline as the first Spider-Man. And I think, especially our generation, like the Amazing Spider-Man came out when we were older and the old ones came out when we were younger. So we have like that to compare it to. And I think it's directed at our audience anyway.
Mm-hmm.
That's why it was kind of like, we've seen this.
Yeah. Like what if someone redid like I heard they might do this, but if like they redid Batman again, like how would we feel about that?
I would be super stoked about it.
I would be very skeptical of it until they proved me wrong.
I think it depends what they take on it though, because I feel like all of Christopher Nolan's I can talk. That his are very dark, and I like that. But you could always take it like the older Batmans, which they're pretty bad, but you can still make it not.
They're still dark, I think.
I don't think like the one with George Clooney is like not dark at all.
Just regular Batman.
Yeah.
If they did one movie like a remake, but like did it almost like the comics, like or like the original like TV series, like with Adam West, that actually might be kind of funny. But then they put in like some new celebrities, maybe that could be maybe funny. But I think a lot of people don't know that. Like a lot of people don't know that. At least nowadays, that used to be a TV show, and that it was comedic, and that it was funny, and like, I don't know if many would, but I would be down. I'd see it. I don't know.
I'd watch it. I would hope it was good, but I kind of feel like Kick-Ass is that though.
I mean, technically that was like a Batman kind of thing, but like, I don't know. That's kind of a good idea. So what do we think about sequels? So for example, Terminator. They've announced they're making Terminator 4. Terminator 4 or 5? I don't know.
5.
Is it 5?
Either way, that's way too many.
But they're making more. Yeah, so they're making Terminator 5, and it's kind of like, I don't know if any of you seen Terminators. I've actually just recently watched them.
No.
Basically, it ends. Like the third one basically kind of ends it. Like it's like, okay, we're catching up to the end. Then the newer one was like, hey, this is the future. I really like the Terminators. You should watch them.
No, I hear they're good.
I
like the first one, and then I'm like over it.
I love the second one. I think that's the best one.
The second one's really good too.
But James Cameron directed those. The first two.
James Franco.
James Cameron.
Okay.
So James Franco's the comedian in Spider-Man. That's where you're getting.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So here's a question. What remakes do you want to see happen? What's something that you would like to see rebooted or remade?
Herbie Reloaded.
Or maybe don't want. Okay. Or don't want to see. So I know what I'm gonna say if you say that.
I don't know. I get really scared with like remakes and sequels, but like Inception would have to not have I don't think it would need a sequel, but that is my favorite movie in the whole world, and so I just want anything like that.
I mean, if Christopher Nolan did everything for it.
Yeah.
But I don't know how big he is into. I mean, even with Batman, I heard he wasn't really big on making sequels, but he did. Thank heavens.
I love that he said that he was going to stop after the last one, though. And he sticks true to it, at least so far.
Yeah.
So I hope he stays true to that, because I think that's awesome.
Cool.
Yeah, I don't really, nothing really comes to my mind as far as...
I honestly think Inception would be pretty cool. And I think it could be a sequel, maybe not with Leonardo DiCaprio, but maybe with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
Comment below if you want to see him.
But like within the next 20 years, I would love to see a new Harry Potter. Like even if they didn't do like all of it and as like in depth, I think that would be so cool. And not soon. Like it'd have to be like when I'm like 40.
What if they did like a spin-off, like Dumbledore's Revenge?
No,
okay, and then we find out what happens to Dumbledore when he's off on his journey.
No, because there's already like, well, you could do that, but like,
bars.
Yeah, like what would you do with that? It's a gay wizard just chilling.
Then he meets Gandalf. Ugh, now we're getting a little too crazy.
No, I would love to see that, but that's just because of me. And then I am in love with like this new thing of like fairy tale stories becoming like these action movie kind of things. And some of them are like really good. And
have you seen Hansel and Gretel?
Little old woman who lives in a ship.
But like, not even that, but like Once Upon a Time, I know it's a TV show, but they've taken like, it's like so cool, and I feel like there's this whole thing coming out with like taking old stories and like making them different Japanese fairy tales.
Yeah, like,
I'm like way into
there's-
that right now. Like,
There's a comic book called Fables that I've talked about before because Telltale Games is making a Fables game, so they're kind of rebooting it in a sense. But it's like that, like you were saying, like it's about the bad wolf who's like a detective, and he's actually like in a human form. They like can switch between forms and like
he's like a werewolf.
yeah, and but it's super dark. I'm like, I'll have to show you.
That's like Once Upon a Time. That's why I think I love that so much. It's just like something. It's like a different take on it.
Never seen
I
it, so
love
I
it.
can't. Gosh, you
It's
can't.
fantastic.
My favorite movie of all time is Back to the Future. And a lot of people ask me, hey, do you think they should make a remake or a reboot? Let me tell you something. They did, and it was a video game. Okay? And that video game was actually pretty fun and pretty cool and lived up to its name. But why did a video game work? Because Michael J. Fox, don't know if he can be Marty McFly. But you should see his really sweet TV series coming out. That's a great idea. I just don't, and maybe because I'm one of those passionate nerds about Back to the Future, but if they took it and defiled something as holy as that, I would not be very happy about that. A Back to the Future 4 or a complete remake. Unless, like I said, Christopher Lloyd was like, hey, I'll do it. And I know he would, because he did the video games and he loves that. So I think that's what makes a good remake too, is like bringing in the old characters, or like if you do a sequel.
At least somewhere.
Yeah, like Arnold Schwarzenegger is in the new, I mean it's kind of weird, but it still kind of makes it awesome that he is doing the Terminator 5.
Mm-hmm.
So, sorry I'm boring you.
Oh, that's okay. I kind of want to go see Despicable Me 2 coming
There's
up
a
here
couple.
See,
of
but
them.
that's a
See,
good
but
idea.
it's- Yeah.
That's a great...
No,
No,
like
that's a good
I'm
one,
sick
but-
of all the cartoon ones. No, I went to like see a movie and they're making Rio 2, Despicable Me 2, and Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2. I just feel like that's overload. There's no need for that.
Well, Manchester University was great, everyone, so that was good. And it's true though, they make so many remakes, but like some things like Monsters U, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, like the new like Finding Dory.
Yeah, I'm okay with
I'm
that.
stoked for that.
But I'm not okay with like Fox and the Hound 2 and Cinderella
2 and 3.
4, 5, and 6.
Mulan
And make
2.
them like Star Wars.
Fox
Although
and
I do
the
like
Hound
an
2
extremely
is
goofy
sweet.
movie. That's a really good sequel.
That is good. Oh, we didn't even talk about Star Wars, but we talked about Star Wars in our last video. Click in the annotation; it's going to appear to talk about when we talk all about Star Wars.
Cool.
What do you guys think, though? That's the point. We want you to comment below. What are some of your things you wish they would remake, or things you wish they didn't? Please say what you want to talk, or what your opinions are about what we said. Should they make it Back to the Future 4? Prove me wrong somehow. Doubt it. But also, share this with your friends, because eventually we want to bring you on the show. We want to do like a Google Hangout where we can be like, and on to Jeff Bridges. Jeff? And then Jeff Bridges, of course, because he's our #1 fan, apart from Mark Hamill, will be on the show, and then you guys can give your ideas. So, please do that, comment, subscribe, and...
Shout out to Jeff Bridges.
Yes, and follow us on Twitter. Thank you, everyone.